we see Julian and Lisa, a happily married couple who are deeply in love. As Julian feeds their toddler, Oscar, Lisa arrives to capture the beautiful moment. We learn that Julian is a high school teacher, while Lisa has a corporate job. She complains about her difficult boss, with whom she had an argument yesterday. Later, Lisa takes an insulin dose, and we discover that she has diabetes. She gets ready to leave for the office and grabs her coat, only to discover a bloodstain on it. Lisa has no idea how it got there and starts washing it away. But then, several cops barge in aggressively, and they immediately arrest Lisa without explanation, and even take her bloodstained coat. A confused Julian asks what the charges are, to which the cops reveal she's arrested for murder. Lisa claims she hasn't done anything, but they refuse to believe her. The scene then cuts to 3 years later, when Julian and Oscar arrive at the prison to meet Lisa, whose case is still ongoing. The couple is very happy to see each other. However, Oscar doesn't seem to be excited to see his mother and completely ignores her. Julian then informs his wife that he spoke with a detective, who is questioning local junkies about the incident. In turn, Lisa says that she also spoke with her lawyer, who didn't sound very optimistic. Since they're having difficulty paying for the lawyer, Lisa suggests selling her mother's house, but Julian refuses, claiming he can handle it himself. The next day, Julian meets with the lawyer, who informs him that there is insufficient new evidence, and that the old evidence is stacked against Lisa. Here we learn that Lisa has been accused of her boss's murder. It turns out they had a heated argument the day before the murder, which gives her a motive. Furthermore, Lisa's fingerprints were discovered on the fire extinguisher that killed the woman. The victim's blood was also found on her jacket, and a cleaner saw her in the same parking lot where her boss died. Because of all this, the lawyer advises Julian to give up, and accept the fact that his wife will be imprisoned for the next 20 years. Later, when Lisa receives this news in prison, she breaks into tears, and curses her fate. We then see a flashback of what really happened on that fateful day. It turns out Lisa walked into the parking lot just after a junkie woman murdered her boss. The woman accidentally scraped her bloody hands against Lisa's jacket in the doorway. And when Lisa noticed the fire extinguisher on the ground, she picked it up and placed it against the wall, which a janitor witnessed. She then drove away, unaware that her boss was lying dead in the parking spot beside her. In the present, Julian rushes to the hospital when he learns that Lisa decided to unalive herself. He heads to her room, where she's managed to survive the incident but is unconscious. Julian then sits next to her, and his heart breaks to see his wife in such a state. Since Julian is willing to go to any length for his wife, he begins to seek solutions through the illegal circuit. The next day, he arrives at a gambling den, and meets a man named Henry Pesquet. We get to know that Henry is a former criminal who has escaped prison 7 times, and even written a book about it. Upon their meeting, Julian places a recorder to tape their conversation so he can listen to it later. Henry then reveals that no prison in the world is airtight, and that each one has a key, they just need to find it. Intrigued, Julian asks how they caught him again, to which Henry reveals that he turned himself in. He explains that escaping from prison is the easy part, but the hard part is staying free. When Julian asks how one can avoid being caught, Henry says that first he must cut ties with everyone he knows. He needs to arrive at an overseas airport within a few hours of the escape before the authorities find him. Most importantly, there should be credible false identification papers. Henry also advises Julian to carry a large amount of cash that will last at least a year. Julian creates a mind map on the wall based on Henry's advice. In the next 3 months, Julian